Hello, my name is Candi Yano. I am a professor in the IEOR department, and we got some students together to put together a completely impromptu video to tell you a little bit about the department in case you're not able to visit us in person. We have with us Emmy Spiro, who is the Student Affairs Officer from IEOR. She oversees the administrative side of the undergraduate program, and she also has a lot of very useful advice for our students. Okay, so I'm going to start off introducing the students, and they're going to tell you a little bit about their experiences here, how they ended up choosing Berkeley, how they chose the IEOR department. Okay, so I'm going to start with Emmy Spiro, and so I'll have her tell you a little bit about herself. Please go ahead.
Hi, I'm Emmy. I'm a sophomore, so I recently kind of came into IEOR, and what really helped me decide is that for first and foremost, Berkeley was that everyone here is really passionate about what they're doing. Everyone here has a lot of drive and a lot of ambition, but it comes from a place of like love and passion. And but then like further into IEOR, and why I decided on IEOR is because you get these big college resources from it being UC Berkeley, but you also get a lot of that like small college feel from IEOR being such a small major. And so you get that sense of community. Like as soon as I find out someone is an IEOR majors, we're like bros, like we're really close and friends. And then people I make through the major, I like will see in my classes. And so it's nice that every class you're kind of like every IEOR class you go into, you like can recognize people and you have a shared like history with people. And so and I also really enjoy the major and how it's kind of like this heavy technical, but you also get to learn, you also have a chance to learn some of the like less technical or like some of the stuff that I'm more interested in, such as like one of the electives is technology for leadership, and I'm super excited to take that class and also take heavy technicals and have them both be part of my major.
Okay, that's great. So, Emmy, have you had a chance to use any of what you've learned in your projects or your courses? Or your summer jobs, for instance?
I got an internship at Tanium. I'd be as like a technical account manager intern, and it was kind of a great experience because similar to IEOR in the major, it was like part technical, but also this part like of this like kind of more business leadership side to it. And I found it, like I mentioned, like there's a great community here, and I found that through an alumni from Berkeley IEOR who wrote me a lot of recommendation because like because of how we connected through a career fair.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. James Bartman is also a sophomore. Is that right? And so I'm going to have him tell you a little bit about his journey and his experiences here.
Yes, hi, I'm James. I'm a sophomore from Columbus, Ohio. So my path to Berkeley was a little bit unique. I was actually born in the Bay Area, but then moved to Ohio at a young age. But I always maintained the connection back out here to the West Coast. And applying to colleges, I knew I wanted to do IEOR. Both my parents had worked in the medical field, and they had a lot of problems with the systems they were using in the healthcare system and that entire world of doctors needing to know about their patients instantly. And so that's kind of what got me into IEOR. But then that brought me to Berkeley because I was applying to a bunch of colleges and I had heard about the IEOR department specifically here at Berkeley, and it intrigued me. And when I got in, I was super excited. And I came out here for Cal Day, and there was a departmental presentation where I met a kid from our rival high school, which was actually like one of the most exciting things. I had never expected to find another kid from Ohio in my major, or even like my city and in Berkeley in general. But I found a kid not only from my city, but also in my exact major. And just we went to lunch that day and talked about IEOR, and it was one of the best experiences I've ever had. And I think that ties into what Emmy was saying is a real community. Even if you just met somebody for the first time, it's already like you're the best friends and you can talk about IEOR for days. And you get that feeling from not only the students, but the faculty as well. It's just a really great community that pursues excellence in every single way. And there's no better place to be. But it's also given me the opportunity to apply that knowledge. I've had 2 experiences that I feel really represent what I've learned here. One of them was actually modeling aeronautic systems through the research department at Ohio State. So last year after COVID, a lot of things got canceled. I went back home and was actually able to get a research assistantship there. And so again, we were modeling like aeronautic systems in space. And then I also did an internship before that at Vocera, which is like a clinical communications company. And so I think that really describes the breadth of IEOR. You can work on, space station systems, or you can work on healthcare systems, or you can work on anything in between. And so I think that's a really great opportunity to have when you come here, is to learn about so many different things, and it will just prepare you so much better for whatever you want to do when you grow up.
That's great. And so how did you find out about the field of IEOR?
So I found out a little bit through teachers and a little bit through my parents. My dad is a quality control director at Nationwide Children's Hospital, so he worked a lot with the field and knows a lot of like industrial engineering people. And so when I was growing up, I didn't want to be like a mechanical engineer, or I didn't really want to be like a computer scientist. And so I'm like, well, how do I utilize math and science, but not in one of those two ways? And so industrial engineering was a great way for me to do that. And then also just learning about it through, teachers in my school who had a little bit of experience with it, more of like the math teachers who had really like worked in it a little bit. And so they introduced me to the field from a young age, but it's really just taken hold.
Okay. Oh, that's great. You're really excited about it, and we're excited to have you here. So, Edward, you're the most senior person in the group, so maybe you can build on what the other two have already spoken about.
That's right. Thanks, Professor Yano. Hi, Prospective Bears. My name is Edward Yang. I'm a senior in IEOR, and I'm originally from Seattle, Washington. I joined the department quite some time ago, but when I think about my journey to Berkeley and the IEOR department, when I was thinking about where I wanted to be for college and what I wanted to study, I didn't actually know what industrial engineering was as a senior in high school. But what I knew is that I was the kind of person who was always thinking about how I could make things work a little bit better, to analyze some data, to try and tinker on the margin to see like, how can we make this thing run more smoothly and more efficiently? And it was only after I started looking at the various engineering departments at Berkeley and trying to understand, well, what is the difference between civil engineering and mechanical engineering, that I looked at industrial engineering and realized that there is an entire discipline dedicated to the study of systems and how we can make them more optimal. And that's something that appealed to me so much, really appeals to my desire to try and do things as well as I can. Sort of like James said, everybody in the IEOR department is driven by that pursuit of excellence to try and do things to the best of our ability. And I would say that really encapsulates my experience in the department over the last 4 years. I think the IEOR department is super unique in the fact that it's relatively small, but it's very close knit. All of the students kind of take similar courses to each other at the same times. And so I've been able to form great study groups and some really great friendships with my classmates. I get to see staff members like Ginny and Keith all the time at department events, and professors are super engaged. They host luncheons. They're very accessible during office hours. Those are things I think make the IEOR department feel like home within such a big, amazing place like Berkeley, where it can sometimes be easy to get lost. Even though things have changed so much during COVID, I think IEOR department has led the way in, optimizing our transition to moving online. It's a joke that we like to tell in the department, like optimize everything. But if you are the kind of person who is really interested in learning more about mathematical systems and models that sort of drive everything in our world, whether it's the kinds of things that Emmy was talking about in her job or the research that James was doing, those are things that should make you want to study IEOR at Berkeley.
Thanks so much, Edward. Let me just follow up a little bit on what the students have been saying. And, one of the things that kind of looking at it from an academic perspective, this department does a really great job of teaching the students both theory and how they should apply this theory in practice. And so during the junior year in particular, there's a lot of courses that focus a little bit more on theory, but much of the rest of the curriculum has a good deal of project work. And so the students really get a chance to apply what they've learned in the context of these projects. And some of those projects are in a lab, but actually a good number of them are actually with real organizations outside. And so they'll have a chance to see the benefits of their analysis and so forth. And this is, so when people come to recruit our students, they know they're very well trained, okay, not only in the technical material, but also how to go about applying it. And over the years, I've had an opportunity to supervise a whole lot of senior projects. Our students at the end of their career have an opportunity to work on a big project in a team. And it's actually amazing over the years how a lot of these projects have been implemented, all the way from basic things like getting the university to route some of the shuttle buses in the opposite direction because it turned out to be much more efficient for the students overall, to increasing revenue at some companies by literally tens of millions of dollars because they're able to kind of eliminate the waste and delays in the system. And so I could go on and on. I could spend all day here, but I think that, you know, if you like math and you're good at math, but you're really motivated to solve real problems and to help people make things better, faster, cheaper, and so forth, then this is really the place for you. And so we hope that you'll take a look and let's see, maybe we can, there's no way to put in chat, but you can find Berkeley IEOR on our website, and you can find us, and we'd be happy to put you in touch with students and other faculty who would be more than happy to talk to you. So thanks so much for listening to what we have to say. We really hope that you're going to come to visit us and stay with us sometime.
Go Bears.